instead of a gun, being a grenade. It's the Thunder Bee, which has been around for a very long time. It's a Chinese-made sort of Japanese grenade. It's been around in America for a long time. I haven't actually seen it used in the UK, other than I've got one. And it's a reusable grenade that's powered on CO2. It basically makes a noise of about 130 decibels, which is the same as a jumbo jet taking off, supposedly. So, let's get on to the review. So, here we are with the grenade. It consists of three main parts: the inner core, which we'll call the inner core for this purposes of this video, and the outer shell, which is, I said the grenade's reusable. The outer shell is actually disposable and can only be used once. Also, it runs on one 12-gram CO2 cartridge at a time, so that's, for each grenade you need one 12-gram CO2 cartridge and one shell. So it's not entirely reusable, but the main core is reusable and it's still very useful. Yeah. I'm gonna basically explain the setup of the grenade because when filming it went a bit funny. Effectively, what you have to do is you have to pull the hammer, which you'll find on top of the core. You'll have to flip the spoon up and lift a sort of a black bit inside the hammer and pull it all the way back and try and hold it with your thumb or with a pin. And there's a hole on the side that you should put the pin into to lock the hammer back. Then you pull the spoon back so that then holds the hammer. You take out the first pin and put it into the other hole, which holds the spoon, the hammer, and the pin all in place. It'll become clear when you see what I'm on about now. Right, it's important when putting your CO2 in that you make sure it's a 12-gram CO2 cartridge. If you buy anything bigger, it's not going to fit, or it will blow up in your hands and you'll hurt yourself, or something will go wrong. Just don't, if you have any queries, make sure when you buy it, you ask them, is it 12 gram? And they'll either point you in the right direction or say yes if it is. It is absolutely crucial you get 12 gram. Right, so now what we do is we unscrew the bottom of the inner core. There's a little screw cap there. We take our 12 gram CO2 cartridge and simply we just plop it in the middle, and then we screw the lid back up. I tend to screw it the opposite way and then screw it the other way to make sure it doesn't cross thread, and then you're fine. Now what you want to do is you want to take your shell and you want to screw it onto the outside of the core. When basically using the grenade, so it's all set up, shells are screwed in, you can unscrew the shell and put some flour or some BBs in, but just make sure you don't put too much, otherwise it will rapidly decrease the airspace in there and it will blow up a lot quicker than the 4-second time delay that it's got. When you pull the pin, you make sure you hold the spoon down when you're holding the grenade, then pull the pin. Then as long as you've got the spoon held down, the grenade's not going to go until you throw it. As you throw it, you'll hear a kind of a click noise or a thunk, whatever you want to call it, and it will sort of start hissing and then blow up, and that's basically when it's exploded. Well, some extra details is these grenades are fantastic. I would only suggest them for sort of a CQB environment where if you've cleared the room, you can and you do get the opportunity to pick up the core and the shells and everything. You have to buy a starter kit when you get this. With the starter kit, you'll get the core, 3 shells, sorry, no CO2 and 2 ring pulls. You have to have that, otherwise you won't have the core for the grenade. The shells and the CO2 aren't reusable. The CO2, you have to buy new capsules each time, and you have to buy a new shell each time. And the shells come in packs of 3 in the UK, which is £4.37, and that works out as one of them is £1.45, and a CO2 cartridge costing 69p approximately, because they vary, adds up to £2.14. So it's quite expensive for a grenade, but it's still cheaper than buying the pyrotechnic grenades. So it depends what you're going to go for. They're good quality, but however, the spoon tends to bend a little bit, so you have to sort of hammer it back into place every now and then. I think that's it. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed watching the video, even if you aren't interested in getting a grenade. I would really, really, really appreciate it if you could subscribe, because I've got a video of a classic army SCAR coming out, something special from Ares, a gas blowback M4 hopefully, and hopefully some KWA match pistols, which should be fantastic. That's if a friend will let me. I've also got some sniper rifle and something else coming, and I'm gonna have a lot more skirmish videos. Also, I would like to ask if you could subscribe to a friend's channel, which is Proline Airsoft. If you're familiar with ESAS Airsoft, it's their new channel, which is completely dedicated to airsoft, and it's incredibly professional. Really check it out. I've put a link in the description, and hopefully it's at the bottom of this page that you're watching now. Okay, thanks. Bye.